or, maybe an idea that I have of where we could grow in that area. But there's certainly not a situation where we're gonna raise it and we're gonna start over. No, we'll enhance what we got and try to improve. If you remember, Jay, coming out of COVID or during COVID, we did the 4 clubs. The Horseshoe Club, Traditions Club, the Cockaboose Club, the 2001 Club. We really, that was a pretty serious project. Those were big hits, and we sold those out. And that's just a little bit of a tip of the iceberg on what we could do. And, I look at this opportunity, the request for information coming back, that it just doesn't affect one group of people. It affects our fan base. It affects students and student athletes, and everybody's involved, and we get an opportunity to really do great things for this state, this city.
Welcome into the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs. Tyler West, along with you. Chris will be with us in just a moment, running a few minutes late. What you heard there to open the show was Athletics Director Ray Tanner on the halftime show yesterday, talking with Jay and Terry, detailing this new development project that has begun to be put in the works a little bit, with reference to about 800 acres of land down around Williams-Brice Stadium that we don't know what the plans are for it yet, but the ball has gotten rolling with South Carolina Athletics Department, and we're going to see what they decide to do with this project.
Yeah, Tyler, I kind of want to dive into this today and see if we can't bring a little clarity, because I've got some texts from friends who are Gamecock fans, and just looking at the response on the Insiders Forum on Gamecock Central, I would say there is a little bit, I don't want to say confusion, just kind of people are wondering what exactly this could mean for that area. Obviously, at this point, there are no renderings. There are no examples of what this could look like. I think it was referred to by Ray Tanner as being potentially like a blank canvas, where there's this opportunity here. And he used the word opportunity there. And I think South Carolina sees it as that. It's a big opportunity for the, not just near term, but really I think you have to look at this as a long-term plan and a long-term vision for South Carolina and for the area, not just directly around Williams-Brice Stadium, but also extending out towards the river behind the Long, which is the football ops facility, that way. And then even over here near CLA as well. And so essentially what yesterday's announcement was is a formal request for information, RFI, which means they're saying, all right, we have this asset. We have this land, 800 plus acres. We're putting it out there to all private businesses. Hey, we're interested in doing business. Who else is interested? What qualifications do you have? What vision do you have for this land as well? Now, the biggest pushback I've seen from anyone has been like, wait, there's not more. This has been rumored. If you've been on the message boards, this has been rumored for a long time now. Ray Tanner said basically it's been 2-year project at this point. And so you may be looking at it saying, well, wait, they're just on the first step. And this is the official first step.
Yeah.
As they sort of get into it's basically a feasibility study to see what other entities out there are interested. However, I do have a feeling that there are probably already some private businesses that have expressed interest in this. And it's probably, I would imagine, further along than it is officially. When you look at it. So as we bring in Chris here, Chris, I think the biggest takeaway fans should have, and we may play it later. There was actually a cut when Ray Tanner was talking to Jay and Terry in here. The biggest takeaway from this is when he was asked about funding. And a lot of times when you've seen these projects in the past, it'll be announced by the university or the athletic department, however you want to say it. And it'll be like, hey, we want to do this, this, and this. We want to do Gamecock Park. We want to do this area around Williams-Brice Stadium. We want to add this, this, and this to Williams-Brice Stadium. You've seen it in the past. Hey, we want to build a new baseball stadium when they were leading into Founders Park. And then they say, we'll be calling you soon asking for money. And they put out these PowerPoints that say, we're gonna sort of, we need this much funding partially from you, the fan, in order to make this happen. I think the biggest takeaway and the highlight, if you will, the subject of this announcement is zero to minimal cash outlay from the university / the athletic department / the fan. The belief, the hope, the plan, it appears from the South Carolina side, as we digest this, Chris, is that this land out there is an asset. And the hope is that they can use that asset as a revenue stream to then in turn have things that will enhance the experience at Williams-Brice Stadium and around. Now, that could be, let's throw examples out there. Again, it's a blank canvas. That could be that the area is being enhanced by, hey, there's a new restaurant. There's a new hotel. There's a new golf course. You can, the possibilities are endless, but you also, I believe, are hoping, if you're South Carolina, that then you take this new revenue, Tanner talked about it, and you turn around and put that directly into enhancing, redoing, however deep it gets, Williams-Brice Stadium and the experience there.
Yeah, it can be everything from, bathrooms to concessions. I know Tanner mentioned those. I was listening right at the beginning as I was late, to something huge, big things in and around the stadium. And I think you made a great point about kind of if this thing works out as envisioned, and it is farther along in at least vision, Wes, than some people reacted yesterday. Say, okay, so they're announcing that we have land for sale. No, give them a little bit more credit than that. But the beauty in this is, like, you compare this to your typical like capital campaign. So right now, for example, the Gamecock Club is running the Carolina Committed campaign. And I think the goal there was to raise $35 million by, I think, the end of this year. And there are a lot of different things that they want to do in that. Resources for women's sports, NIL education, baseball locker room, golf clubhouse, ribbon board, some of the things that we've already seen done at Williams-Brice. This is all to fundraise for that. And you see, like, the beautiful, the Long Family Football Operations Center, $50 million facility. Some of that's private donations. And then what the university has to do a lot of times is they have to take on debt from the state. There's a lot more things that they want to do in and around the stadium to enhance all that stuff. Ray Tanner even mentioned the student section. So if you can basically find funding from another source other than the state or your own donors, seems like a win-win. Another kind of side, I think, subplot of this, Wes, is the fact that it is becoming harder, I think, for schools to keep up from a fundraising standpoint, given all the needs. They need so much. You need your donors to participate in NIL, but you still need facilities, and you need all these, you got coaching salaries. There's this constant race for more and more and more resources. And at some point, your people can get kind of tapped out. And so that's a challenge that I think athletic departments are facing, not only with fan attendance. How can you make that as good as possible so that people want to keep coming to the games and paying money to come to the games, but also all these other things, all the different directions they're getting pulled in. So with this vision, if you can pull those dollars from another place and then provide those resources at the same time, that can certainly be a win-win.
Yeah, I think if you are looking at this and sort of saying, all right, and I first of all, I get it. I get the initial reaction, especially if you haven't really been following kind of the rumors. Well, okay, there's a picture from above with some yellow lines drawn. People get excited, Chris, when they see those flashy renderings of what something could look like. That's what it is. I mean, if you post on Instagram and it's some big flashy, hey, Williams-Brice has got this new bell and whistle and this and this and this and this. It looks pretty. It looks bright. People get excited. However, I get the impression, for one, this step was necessary. For two, I think they probably want to see exactly what this is going to look like, or even potentially look like, before promising this, and this, and this, and then possibly not being able to deliver it. Because this is, I don't obviously have the information on every single other campus or school in the country, but this is a pretty unique and, I would say, forward-facing approach to potentially doing it if it works out. So, if you're South Carolina, you do want to make sure that you are dotting every I and crossing every T before you can potentially try to make this happen. But if it works out, and there will be roadblocks, there will be hurdles along the way, but if this works out, you do have the potential to sort of reinvent what the future of South Carolina athletics could be. And Chris, I think what we have seen is South Carolina actually, to their credit, turning what used to be considered a negative, and by that I mean an off-campus stadium that used to be considered a big negative, a bad thing. Hey, Williams-Brice is way over there. The campus is way over here. However, that also means you have room to operate. You have this land. You have the potential to grow around Williams-Brice Stadium. And I don't think the university has any – I don't think they have any ideas of selling that land. I think they want to own the land, and then however it's structured up, whether it's a direct lease, hey, your business comes in, you're leasing it, and then or more of a revenue share. I don't know anything about the specifics of what that would look like. And maybe all that's to be determined. And it's probably going to be on a case by case basis, I would think. However, I do know this. More important than ever, to your point, Chris, you have to find additional revenue streams if you can that aren't tapping your major donors. And all that land does no good just sitting there. So it certainly makes sense to try and get creative with this thing and develop a plan. And I think something we'll get to maybe on the other side as well. Let's see, I found this in the frequently asked questions on the website, which you can go to GamecocksOnline.com/stadium project. Question: how could this project affect my season tickets or membership dues? Answer: we are committed to having this project be an enhancement to the fan and student athlete experience. Our mission is to provide our members with improved experiences without significant financial increases. I'm not naive enough to think that there won't be some potential effect on the price it takes to go to a football game. That's always possible. And you have external factors completely out of South Carolina's hands that are going to affect that as well. We're all dealing with things costing more right now. However, I do think, and a point that Ray Tanner made on 107.5 yesterday was, hey, look, the revenue from these additional potential streams has the potential to affect the everyday fan, the casual fan, the person who isn't sitting in a suite, isn't sitting in a high dollar seat, affect them positively as well. And I think that's another built-in advantage to this idea if South Carolina can pull it off.
Yeah, we'll continue this conversation on the other side. Before we hit the break, though, I want to give you a chance to win tickets if you don't have plans for Valentine's Day. How about a basketball game? The men's going to be taking on Vanderbilt Tuesday, February the 14th at Colonial Life Arena. That game tips off at 6:30. Be caller number 5 right now at 803-404-6100. You can win yourself a pair of tickets to Valentine's basketball at Colonial Life Arena. We'll be right back with the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs right here on 107.5 The Game.
107.5 The Game On Demand podcast menu. Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner. On the home of the Gamecocks, 107.5 The Game.
This is Damon Amendolara with your CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by TaxSlayer. Start filing for free today at TaxSlayer.com. No matter what, this has been a heck of a roster rebuild by Howie Roseman in Philly. 5 years after a different team with a different quarterback, two of them, and different coach won a ring for the Eagles, Philly's back to do it again. Teardowns? Well, this build back didn't take very long, did it? This is Damon Amendolara.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund is belong to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Save up to 80% when you file with TaxSlayer. Start for free.
Wendy's home-style French toast sticks are so delicious, some are saying that they're better than their mom's breakfast.
Excuse me, did you just say Wendy's French toast sticks are better than my breakfast?
Mom, is that you?
Answer the question.
I said some people are saying that because they're so crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside and perfect in every way.
Uh-huh. And what do you think?
I think it's time to tell people to choose wisely. Choose Wendy's sweet and crispy home-style French toast sticks.
That's still not an answer.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
At Total Wine & More, save big on what you love this month with hundreds of deals. Get up to 35% off over 100 different wines and spirits, including Cabernet, sparkling wine, single barrel bourbon, and so much more. These savings are huge, and even better, they're on top of prices that are already the lowest in town. Deals this good don't last long, so visit Total Wine & More to find yours. Love what you find at the lowest price, only at Total Wine & More. Drink responsibly, B21.
Milk, eggs, $42. Ma'am, you okay?
Need bucks? With Jackson Hewitt, don't wait weeks for the IRS to send your tax refund. Come in now for up to $3,500 with a no-interest, no-fee refund advance loan when you file your taxes. That's up to $3,500 today. Don't let high prices get you down. When every dollar matters, it matters who does your taxes. So get to Jackson Hewitt today. For eligible clients, loans by Republic Bank and Trust Company. Details at jacksonhewitt.com.
AAA Heating and Air is looking for dedicated applicants to fill their fast-growing service department with top-notch HVAC technicians. If you're the best, then they want you. And benefits include top industry salaries, commission on service and unit sales, health, dental, and vision benefits, and a 401k retirement plan. Plus, AAA Heating and Air provides a take-home vehicle and gas card, a cell phone, and a tablet. Check out their job postings on Facebook or ZipRecruiter.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure for fast, powerful nighttime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. NyQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Nachos! Yeah, your nachos!
Hey, I'll take some.
Great. And some Frank's Red Hot.
Oh, nah, I'm good.
Oh, you're just gonna eat these dry, plain, boring nachos with no Franks. Oh, seriously? Frank it up. Frank it up. Come on, lady. Frank it up. Frank it up. Frank it up. Yeah! Yeah, this guy finally gets it. Hey, look, we're on the Jumbotron.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
Pulliam Restoration means business. Worried about the well-being of your property? Partner with Pulliam Restoration, Columbia's largest and most well-known mitigation company. Flood, fire, mold, we have it covered. I'm Robert Pulliam. If you're a property manager or owner, call Pulliam Restoration for all your mitigation needs. At Pulliam Restoration, we have the guaranteed fastest response time and pride ourselves on getting to you in minutes, not hours. It's your choice who you use. Choose Pulliam Restoration. We're ready 24/7. Pulliam247.com or call us at 803-PULLIAM.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 107.5 The Game.
Discover Herndon Certified. Herndon Chevrolet's premier used car warranty. Shop with complete confidence knowing Herndon Chevrolet has got you covered.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour
with Chris Clark, Wes Mitchell, and Tyler Head
on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game. Back in on the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs. Tyler, Wes, and Chris along with you. Speaking of Firehouse Subs, they were nice enough to bring us some free ones yesterday while Nate and Spencer were here. And I won't lie, guys, I think I ate 3 of them. And it didn't matter which ones they were because they had a couple different varieties in there. They were all absolutely delicious.
Yeah, I was about to say, Tyler, you ate them all, but they actually brought us so much that would have been impossible. I had, again, the brisket, add bacon, but today, Wednesday, is National New York Steamer Day in their sub of the day. That is USDA choice corned beef brisket and pastrami, melted provolone, deli mustard, mayo, and the kicker. This is what I think puts it over the top. Italian dressing. Every single day of the week, you can get a sub of the day from our friends at Firehouse Subs. That is $7.99 for a medium. I think it's $5.99 for a small, but I would not recommend getting the small. Just go ahead and get the medium. And if you are in a hurry, just hit the rapid rescue button, order online, firehousesubs.com. No matter where you are in the Midlands, I promise you there is a Firehouse Subs that is not very far away. Again, appreciate Larry for hooking us up with free lunch yesterday. As we continue, Chris, to talk about South Carolina's announcement of their plans out at Williams-Brice Stadium. Again, we were talking on the other side. I get it. There's not a pretty demo yet. There's not a big, pretty garnet and black 15 businesses that are ready to roll that you maybe hope to see. However, I think important to remember, this is the first step in a process that could completely transform the area out there, not just around Williams-Brice Stadium, not just in Williams-Brice Stadium, but stretching all the way down to the river. And by the way, speaking of Firehouse Subs, our Firehouse Subs text line is open as well, 803-404-6100. I want to hear your ideas. What do you want to see? And again, it's a blank canvas. It can be anything. What do you want to see both personally, as in best entertainment value for you yourself? What ideas do you have that would be best for the University of South Carolina? Best in terms of generating revenue that could be, in turn, invested right back into South Carolina athletics. That's what we want to hear. Again, 803-404-6100. Send it a text. That's our Firehouse Subs text line. Chris is raising his hand. Yes, sir. You in the back.
How about a Firehouse Subs on some of that land?
I mean, we could do it. We could do it. I personally also am hoping, hint, hint, the Gamecock Central headquarters to be positioned out there.
Skyscraper.
Yes, with a big old bat signal
towering above the stadium.
Above everything. A big old bat signal that says Gamecock Central. Anytime there's a commitment, sorry, Coach Beamer, it's not just welcome home. We're going to send out a big bat signal from the GC Tower anytime there's a commitment. And then you have to scan the QR code in the sky in order to read about it. I've thought about this way too much.
Whoa, that is very specific. That's impressive if they could actually do a QR code for a bat signal. But maybe the people be having their phones trying to
lots
of be like, what
issues
what are those people
driving.
doing?
I feel like
I love the point that you made in the previous segment about like leveraging your off-campus, like that area, that whole area has improved a lot, and not
look at some pictures, by the way.
Look at some pictures. I mean, from back in the day, and even, not just the stadium itself and not just the Springbrooks Plaza and all the gates around, but like even just, Gamecock Park, things like that. You're still going to go walk by Williams-Brice, and Wes, we have to make that journey along that side of the road sometimes and almost get clipped by a dump truck going 79 miles an hour. So there's still some of those things, right? But it's improved so much, and I think this is going to do so much for it, pending what happens. But I think it'll eventually work out. There's a lot of questions as to what that's going to be. But to your point on the off-campus leveraging, you go to some other schools, and every time I visit a school, like Arkansas was the away trip that I made this year. And I know I came back and told you all about some different things, about, hey, here's what they had in the stadium that was super cool that I thought was better than South Carolina in some ways. I also was watching. We're leaving the game. There's some students. You're like, where they're going? Oh, that's their dorm. It's like 200 yards from the stadium. That's cool. Like all those things are cool. But now you look at it and go, okay, yeah, the students, I mean, they can walk debates. It takes a while, but
I did that walk back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I think I did the one from the towers. I mean, it's very far.
Yeah.
Met some people at Bates and then walked over. But, so it's different, but there's so much more potential, like you said, around the stadium to just do a lot of cool stuff. And then you can then take those funds and direct them to stadium projects that get you more on par with some of those, for example, those cool things that I saw in Arkansas. You can kind of do both at the same time.
I thought it was very interesting, the word choice by Ray Tanner yesterday, talking about the stadium, because there really are I was about to say there's two sides to this. There's probably way more than two sides to this, but two very distinct sides to this. One side is, what does the private business development look like around the stadium? Then the other side is, in turn, what do you do with that money as in terms of sort of pushing it right back into Williams-Brice Stadium? And, I think if you're South Carolina, obviously there's stuff that's not very glamorous that needs to be done. You're talking about concessions. You're talking about waterproofing. You're talking about, honestly, in some areas, washing the state. Like, there are different things that need to happen to the stadium. I think Gamecock fans, if you went to the Gator Bowl, which a lot of you did, man, like that I never thought I'd be saying this about the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium. It's a beautiful facility, inside and out. And I think what you're seeing, man, is more and more stadiums where you have access to premium areas, even if you're not in like a traditional, what you would call like a suite. You're not in a box, but you still have access with your ticket, with your seat, to different premium areas. And you've seen that at South Carolina. To be honest, I haven't even paid enough attention to what seats go where, but I know I've sat in every side of the stadium at this point. And you'll be in this ticket gets you also in the Traditions Club. This ticket gets you in 2001. And so those things matter, I think. And just being in the Jaguar Stadium, like I knew Williams-Brice had improvements, but seeing the two massive video boards and then having access to their 2 or 3 story suites premium area with
crazy.
All this different food and bar access. I think, Chris, think being the key word, that can get you hurt. But I think that's the direction all this is headed. And, I thought the word choice from Ray Tanner, Jay and Terry led him into the word enhancement. For Williams-Brice Stadium. And Tanner said, enhancement. He sort of agreed with it. And then he said, could be redo. Enhancement sounds more like tweaks to me. Probably big tweaks, but additions, changes. Redo sounds like if we had that picture of Williams-Brice Stadium from a drone or satellite 10 years from now, it may not be recognizable compared to how it looks right now. Now, I think we just don't know. I think a lot of this will probably depend on these potential revenue streams we're talking about. But I thought that was some for this to be a situation where Carolina has really actually, I believe, tried to set expectations by not putting out a bunch of potential renderings and drawings and all this stuff. The fact that they used the word redo caught my attention.
Yeah, and Tanner also pointing out, I mean, look, a lot of the stuff they put in, we know South Carolina is still behind, I think, Wes, at last check with premium seating. And I think you kind of think about boxes, being one of those things. But they did put in, the Horseshoe Club, the Traditions Club, the Cockaboose Club, the Loge seating, the 2001 Loge seats, the Traditions Loge suites, and Tanner referenced those and how they, sold out. And I've had a chance to be in, I think, all those clubs, and they are awesome. Hugely enhance, I think, the game day experience. But go back to the point earlier, it's tougher to attract people to come to your games. I mean, it's expensive. You've got the comforts of your home. And so to make it better and better and better, that's why you go in the stadium last year and there's LED lights. That's why you see these new clubs. And so, again, it's kind of a race to continue getting better and better at doing that, but you have to have the funds to do that. And these things are, as we know, very, very expensive. So I, for one, am very intrigued to see what could happen. I don't know when we'll know. I mean, it's obviously a lot of this is going to be a lot down the road, but some of the things could be very, very simple. Some of the things that people have talked about in the past with concessions, restrooms, but could be complete redos and some really, really awesome premium areas as well.
And again, Firehouse Subs text line 803-444-6100. Tyler, I'm hoping we got some people on there with some great ideas. We want to hear. Okay, we want to hear during the break. Send in your texts.
Yep.
And then hopefully on the other side.
Yeah, we'll get to some of those texts on the other side. Before we hit the break, though, I want to give you another chance to win tickets. This to the women's basketball game, not tomorrow, but next Thursday. Going to be at home taking on the Florida Gators. We don't have any tickets to give away Sunday against LSU. All those are already sold out. But next Thursday, they'll be at home against the Florida Gators. Be caller number 5, 803-404-6100 to win yourself a pair of tickets to that game. Come back on the other side, get to some of your text about what you would like to see for this new land development. You're listening to the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs.
Be listening for your chance to have Firehouse Subs feed your crew during the big game this Sunday. Qualifiers get a Cheese Brothers combo pack. Check it out at cheesebros.com. It's the big game showdown all this week from Firehouse Subs and the station that loves to eat, 107.5 The Game.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
O'Reilly. Protect your engine with Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec is designed for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99, plus 2 times O Rewards points. Choose Syntec, available exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
My friends at the South Carolina Forestry Commission want your help in canceling wildfires this year.
Or at least the ones caused by humans, which are about 90% of all wildfires.
Negligent but avoidable behaviors like careless outdoor debris burning,
lax campfire safety, and improper vehicle and equipment use
are the leading causes of wildfires in South Carolina.
Please think before you burn outdoors or operate spark-producing equipment. Let's cancel wildfires, South Carolina.
Sponsored by the South Carolina Forestry Commission, the South Carolina Broadcasters Association, and this station.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stopped, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Attention all homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just text STILL to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text STILL to 200-300 right now. Text the word STILL to 200-300. Don't wait, text STILL to 200-300.
For appliances with Reliances, that's Jeffers McGill.
Come see the entire line of GE appliances at 1421 Atlas Road. Jeffers McGill offers the best customer service and lowest price on every GE make and model,
including GE Profile, Monogram, and Cafe brands. Jeffers McGill and GE, your home team.
For appliances with Reliances, that's Jeffers McGill.
This Valentine's Day, skip the rush on cards, chocolates, and flowers and give your loved ones what they really want, an insanely clean home from the pros at Zerorez. Their patented process uses ZR water technology to clean your carpets and other surfaces like no other. And with no residue, your carpets stay cleaner longer. Right now, mention me, Bill Gunner, at 107.5 The Game, and you'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for just $119 plus a free hallway. Book online at ZerorezColumbia.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour.
Presented by Firehouse Subs. Founded by firemen with Chris Clark, Wes Mitchell, and Tyler Head on your home of the Gamecocks.
107.5 The Game.
Back in on the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs. Tyler, Wes, and Chris along with you, continuing our conversation about the new development project that's going to be going on near Williams-Brice Stadium and the other athletics facilities for South Carolina. I want to head out to the Firehouse Subs text line because a lot of you guys are weighing in with your ideas, which as of right now, since we don't know what the formal plans are, there are no bad ideas because everything, I guess, is on the board at this point in time. Let's see here. Nameless texter, or correction, Beckham actually weighs in and says he would like something like a outdoor watch plaza, a hotel, maybe another RV park, a bridge over Congaree might help. Our man Brock weighs in. How about a Firehouse Sub sports bar? That'd be cool. Northeastern Mike would like a small amusement park or a water park. There's an idea, certainly. Let's see. And then nameless texter, bringing up what a lot of people do, bars, food, stuff like that. More of a fun atmosphere, creating that around the stadium.
I like those. I think you got to, at some point, have a brewery in there. I mean, breweries are everywhere now.
I know one that you've got on your internal list.
Oh, do you?
Yep.
What do I got?
Confirm if this is accurate. You definitely have some type of food truck plaza.
Oh, that's
involved.
been in the... they actually introduced that this past season.
Where was that at?
Outside the stadium.
Chris didn't get the memo about this.
There was the beauty of a food truck plaza is all you need is some room. There was a food truck meetup outside. I think it was all the home games.
Chris never got invited, apparently.
No, he got invited. He just didn't pay attention to his emails, I guess. That was listed among the stadium enhancements.
I remember that now. Yeah, but where was it, though? I remember seeing it, like, in email, but I don't recall seeing it around the stadium.
Think it was down George Rogers Boulevard, more towards ETV.
Yes, that's why I don't really go on that side.
Someone will correct me, I'm sure, if I'm wrong.
Well,
but,
I probably have text and calls and emails now. You idiot! We had
our boy at 365 Grilling.
Yeah.
Marky Anderson's family. They were out there, but yeah, I think
a more dedicated, like
an actual
the Mitchell Plaza for.
Yes, let's do this. It could be right by the GC Tower. I'll be honest. Let me just be completely honest with y'all. I'm a little disappointed we don't have some more off the wall ideas yet on the text line. Like, I assumed we get the usual, but also figured we might get some off the wall.
What would be an example?
I don't know. I'm crowdsourcing this. That's what USC needs to be doing too, is just crowdsourcing this. Like somebody out there has.
I mean, water park, that was an interesting idea, or amusement park. That's kind of out there a little bit.
Well, yeah, sure. I don't think that'll ever happen, but I guess that means it fits the bill. I think Top Golf would be cool.
Okay.
That's been rumored to be coming to Columbia.
Beamer was down
decades.
in Universal doing some research.
That would kind of like take care of the, like, if you can't fit a golf course, just put a Top Golf in. Kind of kills two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're listening, Top Golf, and this happens, we'd love to have you as an advertiser. We're already talking about you. But restaurants, I think the key to this thing, y'all, if you want to get past the kind of hype of it and the kind of this is what it could be, the key to this and the key to it working is going to be, can you structure it? Can you get enough private business out there? Can you get enough stuff out there to where people will be attracted to going to this area other than the 7 home games each football season? I think that's maybe the biggest hurdle South Carolina will have to get over is, can you make it attractive? Can you get people out there because you already have the Vista, you already have 5 Points, although it's, obviously looks quite a bit different than it once did. You have the whole Bull Street area that was hoped that it could be a lot of attraction there. What you got, Tyler?
All right, got a couple of out there ideas.
Okay.
Nameless texter, underground tunnels leaving the stadium to alleviate foot traffic so people can exit the area faster.
Okay, yeah, we got Elon Musk coming out to bore some tunnels.
Let's see. Laser tag and mini golf.
Okay.
All right.
Little putt-putt.
Okay, how about this? George, an artificial lagoon around Williams-Brice Stadium. Now we're getting out there.
There is supposedly some artificial lagoon coming to Columbia. Everybody in here is looking at me like I'm a moron. I promise you, I could not dream that up. I saw it reported this maybe a month or two ago.
I will say the people that are weighing in for amusement parks, David from Lexington also weighs in on that. The big thing about this is the fairgrounds aren't going to be affected. They're not going to be developed. They're not getting bought out. Fairgrounds are still going to be there. So the fair is still going to be there. So
yes.
I doubt they're going to put an amusement park next to where the fair takes place.
Yeah, the fairgrounds and Ray Tanner talked about this as well. Basically, they didn't want to go out buying more land. And I don't know. I don't even know who owns the fairgrounds. Maybe they're not for sale. But their approach was, we're not buying land. We already have land. Let's see what it's worth. And not worth to sell. Let's see what it's worth to keep it as an asset and then use it to drive revenue. I'm incredibly just curious to see what comes of all this, how it works out. But again, y'all just looked at me when I said this, so I'm just going to ask y'all directly. What do y'all think has to be out there to draw people there when it's not a college football Saturday? Because if it's just sitting there, the other, 358 days of the year.
Yep. It definitely has to be one of those things like Top Golf where you're going and doing something, not just bars, restaurants, etc. I don't know if do we have an axe throwing place inside Columbia already?
We do.
Okay.
It's in the Vista.
Okay, so maybe another one, something to that effect, where you're actually going and doing some kind of event yourself, where the draw isn't just the football game.
And you know, in my experience, and I'm obviously not a business developer, there is like a snowball effect to this thing. Like if you have one business out there, even if it's a great, let's say, restaurant or bar, it's a great restaurant, great bar.
Sure.
You kind of feed off of each other, right?
Yeah.
Like you need
it wouldn't
multiple
it wouldn't be
things.
just like one bar. You would need like
a district.
4, 5, 6 of them, so you have a group of them where people aren't just going to one place. You can kind of pick and choose and do a bar crawl or whatever you want to do out there. You have to create, and people keep referencing the Battery in Atlanta with the Braves. You have to create almost like a mini city out there on its own.
Yeah, it's the dine, play, stay thing.
Yeah,
like you got to have all that.
The Williams-Brice District, presented by Firehouse Subs.
I like the Firehouse Subs sports
and
bar. That'd be
Gamecock
cool.
Central.
Yeah, but it has to be an additional district of Columbia if it's going to be everything that they hope it can be. I mean,
hey, let's go down to the blank for the day. Let's go down to the Williams-Brice District for the day.
Yes.
We'll stay there. We can go to thing activity. We can eat at place.
Well, and a lot of people have brought up like having like a formal South Carolina Hall of Fame, which would be something that people would set aside, like, hey, let's go to the Hall of Fame today, and then let's go eat, and let's go to Topgolf or whatever it may be, where you, again, can kind of plan a day around doing those things.
I'll tell y'all what I want. Here's my idea. I need a food plaza. Have y'all seen these?
I suggested a food truck plaza that has 2 of those words.
Food plaza. I think that's what they're called. It's a relatively new thing. There's one in North Carolina. Where did I drive by? Raleigh, maybe? There was talk about Columbia getting one of these. It is essentially a mall courtyard without the crappiness of a mall, basically. So it's, hey, we're going to put this space in the middle for everybody to actually eat.
Right.
And then, hey, company A, company B, you have 8 different restaurants.
Right.
All in the same spot. So if little Timmy wants Chinese food and Johnny wants a sandwich, then it's all there.
Right.
There's one of those in Greenville. They all look like shipping containers, and it's like 2 or 3. I can't remember the name of it. It's right near the baseball stadium. You can walk there. 2 or 3 stories. It's got kind of that mall feel. It's incredible. Place is awesome.
So we're in on this.
I'm fully in. Please.
Here's another one on the text line before we hit the break here. And this kind of goes back to the thing, comparing it to the Battery in Atlanta. You talk about only having the select few home games at Williams-Brice every single year, but creating some kind of space where you can have a experience for away games too. Okay, South Carolina's playing Florida on the road. It's like, okay, we can still go down here, do all this stuff on Saturday, have this big screen, maybe not in the stadium or something like that, but some kind of outside lawn area to watch the game with other fans as well.
I think you could tie that into either A, the sports bar, or B, the brewery, but just make it hey, this is the official place to watch the game. And then you have the biggest screen you can think of out there, a projector outside, I think.
Yeah, tons of good ideas. And again, we don't know what the actual plans for this are going to be yet. So
all these things
kind
of
throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. All right, we'll come back on the other side, continue the conversation, and wrap up today's edition of the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs right here on 107.5 The Game.
Have you missed any of the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour?
You can catch up at 1075thegame.com
Or by downloading our 1075 The Game app on iTunes or Google Play.
1075 The Game on-demand podcast menu. Sponsored by Lexington Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
If you're dealing with injuries or pain, our team is here to get you better sooner.
If you work with one of South Carolina's 5,700 manufacturing companies, you're part of something really cool. Hey, this thing is cool. Even this HR guy is cool, but he needs help updating his employee training programs. We can help you with that. At SCMEP, we know that manufacturing is complex, and that if one part gets out of step, everything stops. Definitely not cool. We have the resources to help your operations thrive. Now that's cool. Visit scmep.org.
Sponsored by SCMEP.
The premier HVAC company in the Midlands is growing. Are you a top HVAC technician?
AAA Heating and Air is looking for dedicated applicants to fill their fast-growing service department with top-notch HVAC technicians.
If you're the best, then they want you. If you're ready to stop working and start a career, you can earn up to $100,000 plus a year at AAA Heating and Air.
Quality candidates will have at least 2 years experience and a good driving record. Benefits include top industry salaries, commission on service and unit sales, set call limits, company-provided take-home vehicle and gas card, company-provided cell phone and tablet, health, dental, and vision benefits, 401k retirement plan with company match, and scaled PTO based on length of service.
Contact Roy and Dana Finley at 803-677-1500 or check out their job postings on Facebook or ZipRecruiter.
AAA Air when you need us. AAA Heating and Air.
Jay Phillips here for my good friends at Dan's Fan City in Harbison. Ceiling fans don't sound like something you think about a lot because you don't really need to, but when you've got them, they work well, keeping energy costs down and your comfort level up. John at Dan's Fan City wants to remind you to make your ceiling fan move in reverse this time of year to keep the heat off the ceiling. See John for any questions and for all of your ceiling fan needs. Go to Dan's Fan City in Harbison or call him at 781-FANS. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, if you've got a hole in your roof or you need a whole new roof, you need to call Mid-State Roofing, 356-1919. For nearly a quarter of a century, Mid-State Roofing has established its reputation as the leader in the roofing industry. Whether it's above your head or at your feet, perhaps a leaky foundation, 356-1919 is the number to call for all your roofing and waterproofing needs. The quality and craftsmanship of a Mid-State roofing system are tops in the industry, especially commercial and industrial roofing systems. If you own or you're in charge of a large building, warehouse, or industrial facility, then you're in charge of that roof. And at some point, a roof is going to need some attention. So the number to call for advice, service, results, and a commitment to customer satisfaction is 356-1919. See all that Mid-State has to offer when you click on midstateroofing.com. Tell them, Mid-State twins.
If you have a leak, let Mid-State Roofing take a peek.
356-1919, midstateroofing.com.
Broadcasting live from the Herndon Chevrolet Studios. This is 1075 The Game.
A great selection of new Chevys is available now at Herndon Chevrolet. The lot is packed with inventory and more is on the way. So shop your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Stop by or shop online today and see why Herndon Chevrolet makes you smile. It's the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour
With Chris Clark, Wes Mitchell, and Tyler Head.
on your home of the Gamecocks.
1075 The Game.
Back in on the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour presented by Firehouse Subs. A couple more minutes to go here, wrapping up our conversation about the new development project. You know, talking about a viewing experience for the fans. A couple people throwing out there the idea of like an amphitheater, somewhere where you could put up a big screen, seat a lot of people. I know people have talked about like a concert type of venue that certainly give you an outdoor viewing experience for concerts in the summertime and stuff like that.
Want to, before we get back into that, tell you real quick about Amy Mason Cup at State Farm. All across the country, drivers are reaping the rewards of safer driving with the updated Drive Safe and Save app from State Farm. It has dynamic new features like interactive maps and driving tips, and you can earn up to a 30% discount. Just download the Drive Safe and Save app from State Farm to get started, or you can stop by your local State Farm agent's office. That, for me, guys, is Amy Mason Cup. Her office is at 612 St. Andrews Road, Suite 4 in Columbia. It's just off I-26 at St. Andrews. When my family is looking to switch and save, we turn to Amy. All types of policies she can help you with: home, auto, business, boat, renter's insurance, life insurance, all that good stuff. Visit her website, Amy Mason Cup. That's Amy, MASINCUPP.com. Let her help your family just like she helped mine. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Wes, what do you think about an amphitheater?
Yeah, John on Twitter has also hit us up and said a Willie B amphitheater.
Ooh, I kind of like that.
I'm for it if we're gonna get like big concerts, you know, like if
You remember how worried everybody was about the turf that year? The turf controversy
Oh yeah.
for that stadium?
Yeah.
It's like our most viewed story ever on Gamecock Central.
They had what's the guy's name? They literally had an interview, a press conference with the turf guy
about the turf.
Yeah,
it became a big thing. So maybe move the amphitheater out there, and that removes the turf.
When was this? I'm not familiar with
this
it.
is the Beyonce and Jay-Z concert.
Yeah, it was very close to a
Okay.
football game or event or something.
They were afraid they were going to mess up the turf with all the.
Yes. Well, they reinstalled
Yeah.
the turf
Oh.
like
It was
a
a
week
big
or
thing.
two before
Wow.
game one. But they were like, this turf is made for that.
It looked great. They did a great job.
Yeah, it was a thing. It was a thing. But yeah, I do remember that. We're running out of time. Do we have any other final suggestions?
Oh goodness, let's see here. I've had a couple people throw in their football simulator. I'm not sure how that would work, but that's a few people's idea. Where I guess you do like VR and you can experience being a Gamecock. You know, the technology's come along now. I guess that's a viable option.
Yeah, put on an Oculus.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Experience what it's like to get hit by a 350-pound SEC defensive lineman.
No thanks.
No thanks.
Yeah, you're out on that one. God, I had another one, but I completely lost it. Old age, Chris.
Pick it up tomorrow.
Yes.
Let's go home and jot down our notes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're allowed to continue this conversation as long as we want. It is our show after all.
Let's do that tomorrow.
Sounds good. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place for the Gamecock Central Takeover Hour, presented by Firehouse Subs. For Wes and Chris, I'm Tyler. Thanks so much for listening. Halftime show with Jay and Terry coming up next. 107.5 The Game.